You're listening to episode 4 of the Healthy Dudes podcast.
Welcome to the Healthy Dudes, the podcast where two regular guys embark on a journey towards holistic health and well-being.
I'm Anthony, and joining me is my partner in this adventure, Tyler. Together, we'll be diving into topics ranging from physical fitness to mental wellness, nutrition, mindfulness, and everything in between.
Absolutely. Our goal is to learn, grow, and inspire others who are also looking to make positive changes in their lives. We want to emphasize that this podcast is about our personal journey and the lessons we uncover along the way. We're not doctors or certified professionals, but rather two dudes passionate about living a healthier and happier life.
That's right. So grab your comfortable seat, plug in your earphones, and let's dive into the Healthy Dudes podcast. Together, we'll inspire and motivate each other to make better choices and live our lives to the fullest.
Welcome back to episode 4, like I said. Last week we talked about community and the importance of community and how community has helped us, has helped me in my past. And this week we're talking about something a little bit more difficult for me. But let's talk about our goals that we set last week.
Yeah.
So the week before I really failed. This week I set the bar a little bit lower for myself. The week before I said I would work out 4 days and I didn't do that. But this week this last week I said I didn't want to gouge myself. I was going on vacation and that was just, I wanted to relax. I wanted to have a good time. And, but I didn't want to gouge myself because I tend to do that on vacation. I'm on vacation. I deserve to eat as much as I want. Right. That's not how I should be living my life. That's not how a healthy dude should live his life. And so I did really well. I ate just enough. I still enjoyed myself and, I indulged a little bit, but I didn't hate myself when I finished eating. And I think that's the goal.
Nice.
And even today I went for wings with my wife and I love going for wings.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I don't know.
I also love going for wings.
Wings are the best.
Thanks for the invite.
This is a wife and
I understand.
A wife thing.
I get it.
And they were double dusted and I only had 10 of them.
That's amazing.
And usually I go for 30 and I just want to hate myself. And the next day I can smell the wings still through my sweaty body. Oh, that's so gross. I don't know why I said that. So I did pretty good. And how did you do?
So my goal was to finish reading Out of the Cave by Pastor Chris Hodges. I did read a little bit more in that book, but then my wife and I left on a vacation.
Yep.
Trip out to Saskatchewan, next province over. And I was in a hurry to get out of the house, so I couldn't find that book.
Oh, no.
But I grabbed the other book that you recommended, actually.
That's right.
The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, and I managed to get 160-some pages into that book, which is actually quite a bit. I'm a bit of a slow reader, so
that's so great.
Yeah, I'm going to call that mission accomplished. So
amazing.
That was good.
How did you like the book?
So good. Yeah.
I finished the book. It wasn't a goal of mine, but it was something that I was doing to get healthier.
That's good.
And I loved it personally. What is one thing that
it's an incredible book, and it's funny because you recommended the book. I remember asking you, hey, can you just kind of summarize it for me? And I think it was a challenge for you to try to summarize it just in a few sentences. You know? And Renee, who I actually got the hard copy book from, I asked her the same thing, and she also had a hard time kind of articulating, what it is exactly, right? But obviously the title kind of says it all. Get rid of the hurry, but the why behind that and just kind of understanding how as a society we have a million things that help us save time,
Yeah.
The author, I can't remember his name right now. You probably know.
John Mark.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, that one. He said it really well. 100 years ago, guys would have to go out into the forest, chop down a tree, drag it back, chop it into firewood just to heat their house that night to stay alive. Now we have a furnace, we have washing machines, we have microwaves, all sorts of gadgets and tools. But with that, we're busier now than we've ever been before. So just kind of understanding why that is and the psychology behind that. And then he gives, this is the part I'm at right now, 4 strategies to kind of combat that. So I'm exploring number 2 right now.
Yeah,
so it's good.
That's amazing. He does say one thing in the book that resonated with me, and it's about entertainment anxiety, and it's where there's so much good content out there that you have anxiety wondering how you're going to fit it all into your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he makes a good point saying, you'll never fit everything into your life.
That's
and
right.
You'll never be able to experience everything in your life.
right.
And
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
And you just got to be okay with your life that you have.
Totally.
And that's what I've really gone into. I actually wrote a blog post. It was one of my best ones. You should read it. It was basically a review. And I was intentional about leaving my phone out of the camping and trying to be intentional and having real conversations with people. And I talked with one guy about El Salvador.
Yeah.
And what's going on there. Have you heard what's going on there?
No.
With like the new president?
No.
Oh, he's like
Sorry.
arresting everybody.
Oh, really?
And it's like made the nation really safe. Some people
no.
call it dictatorship, but anyways, but I had a really cool conversation with someone that I would have never talked with before.
That's
and
good.
I just really enjoyed my time, and I'm trying to slow my life down, and I really feel like this book has really just, altered some things in my life.
Nice.
So I was really happy. I'm really happy about that, and I'm going to continue to try to live that way.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
Well, as you said, today we're shifting our focus to another crucial aspect of our lives, health and fitness.
Yeah.
So, we just invite you all to join us as we discuss the importance of taking care of your physical well-being. So there's different types of health and fitness. There's mental health, spiritual health, financial health, all those types of things. I think today we're really trying to focus in on the fitness health of that, like the physical fitness part of that. So
Totally. Men's health, I feel like, is about if you were to Google it, it's like physical health, like all the motivational videos that you watch, they're all about guys working out at the gym. And I think that is super important, and I do want to get there, but there's so much more to men's health.
Yeah.
But this is a very important piece of the pie of men's health.
that's right.
Yeah.
So first question, Anthony, I'm going to shoot this one off to you.
I'm not excited about this because I know that this is a very weak area of my life. But if you follow along, you will see me
Right.
transform.
That's
I
right.
don't know.
The before after.
That's right.
Everyone likes a comeback story, right?
That's right. It's just this is a 28-year comeback story.
That's right. Hey, a year from now, you wish you would have started a year ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
A year from now, you would have wished you started a year ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
it's so true.
Somebody said that.
Somebody.
Not me.
Yeah.
So what does health and fitness mean to you, Anthony? And why is it important in your life?
Okay. Well, as I alluded to before, I think it's a real stressor for me because I know how important it is, and I just really neglect it. And I kind of touched on this in the very first episode, but I feel like my life physically has been slowly deteriorating. And I know that's kind of like a pretty big word to say, but I ran from the Home Depot entrance to my car door,
Right.
and it was hailing out, and I was like, I got to sprint, and I almost didn't make it. It was so bad. I was out of breath, and
bad.
my wife was trying to talk to me. I was like, "Oh, just give me a second here." And I'm like, I'm not even 30, and I should be able to make that sprint.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty pathetic, and I love playing sports, and I haven't been able to play sports, and I love the competition, and we have this drop-in soccer league, and I don't even like to go because I know how out of shape I am. I'm pretty good, like, with passing, and I choose my runs. I'm pretty smart with the game, but it's because I'm not fast enough to. I really don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just slow. I'm really slow, and I'm really out of shape.
Right.
And I want to play sports again. And
Okay.
so that's really important to me.
That's good.
What about you? What does it mean for you?
Yeah, I think kind of along the same lines. This is going back, I think, to episode 2. I touched on it briefly about like the 4 rocks.
Yeah.
And anybody who didn't listen to that episode, everyone's seen the example. If you haven't seen it, you got like sand and you got 4 rocks, and you're trying to fit everything into this one container. And if you put the sand in first, and then try to fit the rocks in. The rocks don't fit in.
Yeah.
But if you put the rocks in first, the 4 big rocks, then the sand kind of fills in around the rocks, and then it all kind of works out. So all that to say, you have to kind of pick your 4 things, And my wife and I, Brie and I, we sat down and picked our 4 rocks, and it was God, family, friends, and then the 4th one was health.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, like, the question, what does health and fitness mean to you? For me, that health component is what enables me to do the other 3 to like a higher level, like a higher quality.
Totally.
Something simple like with the family, wrestling with the boys. And, I don't want to be like out of breath or like they climb up on my back and, I have some kind of like, back pain or something like that. And, or like, once they're a little bit older, they're starting to run. Or we start skiing. I can't wait to do that.
Yeah.
Get the family ski pass. Super excited to go down the hill with them. But I want to be able to do those co-activities with them. I talked about that, I think, in one of the podcasts. It's good to have those activities that you're doing with the kids versus like just sitting up in the bleachers watching your kid do something.
Right.
So, yeah, when it comes to like family, being able to kind of just keep up and go on walks, go on hikes, bike them to, I talked about that, bike them to daycare. We've been doing that every day, which is a blast.
That's so fun.
And the same thing with our friends. Like I mentioned Eric in the last podcast, but he's a buddy of mine who's always kind of kept me in the game physically. We did some mountain climbing together. We got into triathlons together. We started doing some running together. But that was just an opportunity. Like every year we do the Banff Marathon. This year I didn't do it. They did it. But I still went out, and it was an opportunity to see them. He lives a couple hours away from me. So, it's kind of that connection point where we're able to do it. And even my wife and I, in the fall, we have this World Airline Road Race, it's called.
Cool.
And we've done it all around the world, and this year happens to be in Calgary, right near where we live. So my wife and I, we're starting to run every Sunday just to kind of get ready for that. It's coming up in a couple of months.
Nice.
So that's an opportunity for Brie and I just to, bond a little bit. So, yeah, I think the health part is what kind of enables me to have a higher quality of life. Yeah. And I think for longer, too, where like you hear all those stories of people, they work their whole life, they retire at 65, and then at 70, they don't have the health to travel or do anything. Yeah. But if you have good health, I just flew with somebody today. He was Boston Marathon, 3-time runner type thing. And, he's in great shape. So he's probably got another, barring anything major, 20, 25 years of high-quality life rather than just like your prime years, which you end up spending just working anyways. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point. My grandpa, he always worked, and I think he was 82 and he passed away. But 2 years earlier, he was working still. He was like wiring up basements and hot tubs. I think that was his big thing. And he was just helping out his neighbors, and I love it. Just he loved being an electrician and helping out people. And
that's so good.
And then COVID happened, and he just watched TV for 2 years, and he neglected his health, and he just passed away.
Wow.
It was really sad. I think of the longevity of a life. I saw this picture. It was a cross sectional of a thigh of a triathlon athlete.
Oh, cool.
At like 25 years old versus a person who doesn't exercise at 25 years old. And,
wow.
And there's a lot more muscle there, but there's also a lot of muscle in like a 25-year-old who, like myself, who doesn't really exercise, but I walk around a lot at work.
Yeah.
But then an 85-year-old and an 80, maybe not 85, I think it was like maybe 70s.
Sure.
But they compared a triathlon like 70-year-old to a 70-year-old who doesn't work. And like the muscle mass in the leg is completely different.
Right.
And the point of that picture was, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
And it's sad. Like I see a bunch of old people, and I have these cousins, and they have a grandma, and she was in a wheelchair, and I've never really known her, but I was like, oh, what happened to her? And they're like, nothing. She just can't walk anymore. She just like stopped walking after a surgery, and now she just like is too weak. And it was like that over a week, and it's sad, and I just don't want that for my life. And I know I'm many, many years away from that, but also like I'm like headed that direction.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
That leads well into the next question, I think. So how do you incorporate exercise and physical activity into your routine? And what benefits have you experienced?
So again, this is a struggle for me, but there was a time where I was exercising like 3 or 4 times a week. I did it for like 4 months and I lost like 35 pounds. It was really good.
Yeah.
And I remember I felt just like, just better in every situation.
Yeah.
I was like, situations that would tick me off, I would be a little bit happier because, I'd be sitting behind someone at a red light and they wouldn't go. And I'd be like, you know what, it's all good. Because I'm a little bit skinnier. I don't know how true that is. I think that's how I feel right now. But I remember I felt really great and I enjoyed going to the gym. I was going with other people. That was one thing that was really helpful for me, was going with other people because I couldn't let them down.
Right.
But for me now, I'm like, I could let myself down.
Yeah.
So that has definitely, helped me. It was going with other people, but I remember like feeling thinner. I was like, it was just a good time in my life.
Yeah, that's good.
What about you?
It's a good question. I would say, generally speaking, over the years, we've just found ways to get movement into our lives, just in various ways. So, like right now, one that we're hitting on is like the biking thing. Yeah. That's like the latest thing that Bree and I have gotten into. It's a good one because we have the boys, so we find it's like a good kind of family activity. But simple example, driving to church on Sunday, it takes like 12 minutes to get from my house to church in this city that we have.
Right.
And just because the speed limit everywhere is 30 kilometers an hour in this city.
Yeah.
The main arteries, they can go a little bit faster. They have lights that are like brutally timed.
Yeah.
So you're always stopping at red lights.
Airdrie has more traffic lights per capita than anywhere in the world.
That's incredible.
I just made that up, but it's so true.
That's true. and they're red for longer than any other city.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
And they have like a sensor on there.
Yeah.
And it sees when you're coming and then it'll turn red.
That's right.
It's crazy. I can get across Calgary in rush hour traffic in like 5 minutes because of the timed lights.
It's
and these
incredible.
ones, I can't get across Airdrie.
No. Going to Home Depot takes 20 minutes. Going to the airport in another city takes 18 minutes.
Yeah.
True story. But all that to say, biking there takes like 14 minutes. So it's like 2 minutes longer for me to bike there than it is to drive there. And I actually just enjoy being outside and I enjoy biking, right? So that's been good. Or like I've been working out with my buddy Paul 3 times a week, which is really like once a week. We haven't worked out in like 3 weeks lately.
Yeah, it's summertime.
That's how she goes. But, I can drive there. It takes about 8 minutes. I can bike there in like 5 minutes. So not only is it faster, but it's also healthier, which is awesome. So, and also I think we just got lucky with like where our house is located. We're backing into the Sweet Park, so it's easy to just take the boys over there and get the walks in. And we got that pickleball courts right there too. So it's obviously way more practical to bike or even walk there than it is to drive there. And so, and kind of like you, I find the peer thing really helpful. Like it seems like really selfish for some reason for me to just go out for a run all by myself. That's kind of why I stopped running. Was like I would have rather spend that time with my kids or with my wife. But now my wife wants to run, so we're ready for that run. Now her and I are doing that together. Well, now it's on. You know what I mean?
That's great.
Or like I said with the biking thing, you got the boys behind you, so I'm not like ditching them and going for a training ride or anything like that. Or the workout buddy with Paul, I get to catch up with him. So all those things have been really helpful.
That's so good. What role does nutrition play in your overall health and well-being?
Yeah, for me, that's like, I'm going to say the biggest obstacle in my physical side. I feel like I'm like active enough.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting in the workouts, I'm lifting weights and like a variety of things, biking, playing the pickleball, a little bit of yoga here and there. And then we like do the walk thing. Right. So I feel like I'm active enough, even though I spend a lot of it sitting and stuff like that. But I feel like, I feel like the nutrition side is like what the big barrier is for me. And so like a couple weeks ago, we recorded the podcast. What was the goal for the next week? We always ask that. We end the segment with that. And my goal was just to track how many calories I was doing.
Yeah.
So I did that for a week, and I was averaging like 2,300 calories.
Wow.
And then I did again this last week, and I texted you, I texted Paul, and it was sitting right around that 2,300 calories again.
Amazing.
But like plus or minus 1,000. So like some days I'm like not eating anything.
Yeah.
Probably because I forgot to record what I was eating. And then there's other days where I'm up at like 3,500, 4,000 calories, you know?
Right.
And I should be around like 1,800 to maybe 2,200, you know? So all that to say, I think I'm like totally out to lunch on like portion control and just the sheer volume that I'm like inhaling.
Right.
So yeah, that's been a barrier. And talking about that ruthless elimination of hurry, here's the trap that I found that I get myself into where like I'm so busy. I feel like I'm so busy. So then I'll like eat at McDonald's. Here's a classic example. I'll wake up, I got to get to work, and I'm like running behind. So I have like, okay, I have 10 minutes. Should I try to make eggs at home here and then take it to work? Or should I swing by McDonald's? So I swing by McDonald's, right? So now I spent extra money. I get like crappy food, you know, and
they make you park.
Takes longer, right?
Do they
Especially
make you
that
park?
one up on Edmonton Trail, like every single time. Like it's like, oh my goodness, someone came to eat food at a restaurant.
Yeah, and they're like blown away. Like, oh, what? You want coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to make you park.
Yeah.
There's like, but there's no one behind me. Doesn't matter. You gotta park.
Crazy. So you end up late to work with like a crappy meal, right? But now you're eating all this crap food. So now you have to go get a gym membership because you're gaining all this weight. But now because you're paying for a gym membership, you need to work more. So now you're busier, you know? It's like, man, if I could just slow down and take that 10 minutes just to make eggs and throw them in a Tupperware container, eat it on the way to work. You know what I mean? Then I would be reasonably healthy, wouldn't need a gym membership. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So it's kind of like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
For me, I find when I go to a buffet, I don't stop until like I hate myself.
Right.
And that's like the worst. I don't want to go to any more buffets. That's like it's the worst.
Yeah.
I know that when I'm eating and I overeat, it really ruins that night because I can't sleep, and then the next day because I'm super tired, and then it's like a vicious cycle. And that has really wrecked me in the past, and again when I lost all that weight in the past,
right,
eating healthy was like easy. It was fun to do, and I felt better.
Yep.
My family ate better.
Yeah.
I feel like when I ate better, my family ate better.
Totally. That's
and
true.
Yeah, I just want to get back into that, and not being a glutton anymore.
Right.
I find that, we just like not just. I saw a picture of in like the 1880s or something or 1920s, the world's fattest man. And he was in a circus, and people would pay to go see this guy. It's like, man, that's like me. I'm like not that far away from him.
Wow.
And he's like an average dude now.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so true. Hey.
Yeah, we're just gluttons in this society.
Yeah.
So I just want to tone it down.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I do find that there is something in my mindset. I think it's like a poverty type mindset of like, I don't even know where this comes from, but like, I don't know if you had this when you were growing up, but like you had to just like finish your plate.
Oh yeah.
And
I have immigrant parents.
Yeah.
So we eat everything.
Yeah,
on our
I
plate.
think it's like a blue collar type mentality. So like I still carry that into today. Or if like someone offers me a coffee, like I will never say no to that. You know? Like I would just be like, of course I want a free coffee. Like why would I not say yes to that? Someone's like, hey, you want a piece of cake? Yeah. Actually today I was working and they offered like food, and I had like the whole meal plan because I was texting you and Paul last night and how many calories. So I had this whole like strategy going into the day. And then they're like, yeah, we got some chicken cordon bleu. You want some? Yeah, absolutely I do. Like I'm gonna eat that food because it could be my last meal. You know, or there might not be food tomorrow. You know, but there always is. And then, you know, we're pretty budget conscious, my wife and I, and we've been working on our finances.
Yep.
And so like I know like eating out is really expensive, but then I go to a grocery store and I'm like, man, like I can get like so much chicken breasts for like the price of a pound of chicken wings or like 2 pounds of chicken wings. You know what I mean? So then it's like, okay, well now I have all this chicken breast, so I bring it all home, cook it. And now I'm sitting there like, well, this is so cheap. I can eat like 3 of these. You know what I mean? And it's only like $6, but I'm just overeating at that point, and it ends up, you know, spending more money too. So yeah, portion control. That's been a challenge.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. Yeah, we went for wings today. It was like a wing night.
Yeah.
We ended up spending like $40
Yeah.
with the tip and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Like we were
Totally.
going for a cheap night. I
Yeah.
could buy a whole box of chicken.
I know.
And we always complain about how expensive.
A box of frozen chicken wings
Yeah.
is? Yeah. They get you with the beer, man. That's where the markup is.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's right.
I was going to say just one last thing. I don't want to dwell on this question too much, but when I was talking about the questions with my wife, nutrition is kind of like the fuel for your life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yep.
I think you touched on that where like if you eat really bad, it ruins like that night and the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're actually eating good and eating healthy, you'll have like lots of energy.
Yeah.
You won't get that like carb crash or whatever that happens in the afternoon. I've been experimenting with coffee. I'm trying not to drink coffee the first thing in the morning. I wait like an hour and a half, and there's like maybe some science around that. But like then you don't get that caffeine crash, and I just find that like it just brings that like alertness, and then you do have that energy to do all the other things like you mentioned. So
Right. I saw a video of a guy who lost a bunch of weight,
yeah,
and he said something that was really funny. How do I say this? He said, I've already tasted everything in the world. Like, I don't need to have like a ton of it on my plate.
right,
Like if I don't know why, when for example, for today, I had like my 10 chicken wings. I had a couple of hot and a
Yep.
few of honey
Yep.
garlic.
yeah.
Like, I've tasted it. It's delicious.
Yeah.
And
You've checked off the box.
I did. Why
Yeah.
do I need 30 of them?
That's right.
Or why do I need like
yeah,
a whole casserole dish of lasagna?
that's right.
Why don't I just have a slice of it? Like, if you just taste it.
Yeah,
Like, I've already tasted everything. Why don't I just eat less of it?
true. That's
So
good.
yeah, that's going to be one of my goals for this week. Okay, cool. What should we go on to the next question?
Yeah, how do you prioritize mental well-being and self-care in relation to your overall health?
Do you want to answer this one first?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of what we talked about at the start of the show where like there's lots of different components to like health and fitness. And right today we're talking a lot about like the physical fitness side, but I think it's tied like directly to the mental side. And when I was kind of reviewing for this, one thing that just kind of came to me was like basically dopamine and like
Oh, yeah.
feeling satisfied or like happy, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think now there's like a dopamine hit you get from like Instagram and blue light, basically. It's like very like instant gratification and that type of thing. But one thing that I find is true is like after we play pickleball in the morning, like I feel great. You know, it's like that satisfying feeling that I think you get from like Instagram or like other forms of like dopamine release type thing. So that's one area where the two I think are tied together, where like if I'm doing well physically, I think I'm more likely to be doing well mentally.
Yeah.
You know? I think the two are kind of like related. And if I'm like mentally in a good space, that's where I'm like able to get motivated to work out a little bit better. But if I'm mentally like stressed out, sometimes I need to go work out just for like the sake of like giving my mind like a break. But like it does help. I just find the two are kind of correlated where like the better I get physically, the better I get mentally for me.
Totally. Yeah, I like what you said about the pickleball. Like the other day, we had a friend invite a bunch of people to pickleball.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I want to go. Like, I don't know how good these people will be.
Yeah.
But just going out there and being with people, and it was like we talked about this last week about community.
Yeah.
Just being together and playing a sport. It was just a lot of fun. And I left. I got home and I felt better about myself.
Yep.
And that it really just changes things.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I find it works almost every time, you know?
Yeah.
Where like almost every time I finish a workout, it's I like feel good.
Right.
But the tough part is getting through that 30 minutes or an hour, you know, versus like I say with the phone, you feel like kind of good after, but it's a different kind of satisfaction, I think.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just like so like readily available to you.
Yeah.
So
I find that when I do my cycle, so I go to YouTube.
yeah.
And then YouTube's too slow because you got to like play the
Ads.
videos, and then you got ads.
No one can pay for premium.
Yeah, and then I go to Instagram, then I go to Instagram Reels, and then I go to TikTok, and I just do that cycle.
Yeah.
I
check the Gmail. You do that?
No.
Yeah. Check the work email.
I don't do
See
that.
what's going on.
I just do a cycle until I have this pedestrian job, and it's very like it's slow. Sometimes I shouldn't say that. It's a hard job sometimes, but very few and far between.
Like mine.
Yeah, so like I have a lot of downtime, and could I be using that time for other things? Maybe, but I have a lot of time on social media, and I find when I get home, I am just like drained. I'm like I just, but I can't get off my phone. I can't put it away. So I always think to myself, oh, I've been on my phone all day. I'll just, put it down and be with my family.
Totally.
But like, it just keeps sucking me in.
Right.
It's horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. Anyways, this last question. Have you encountered any challenges or obstacles on your health and fitness journey, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I'm fortunate where I haven't encountered any like injuries. For the longest time, I was basically working out or doing the physical stuff just to prevent injuries. Like I said, I didn't want to be like wrestling with my kids, and all of a sudden I'm having like a spasm in my back or something like that. Or like my job, every year we have to go for a medical, and so you have to pass that medical. Or like if you sprain an ankle playing pickleball, you get your medical pulled, and now you can't go to work.
Oh, wow.
So for me, a big part of it was just kind of injury prevention, so that I could continue to do my job and do the things that I wanted to do. So I haven't had any like big setbacks that way. I would say the obstacles come in where like you just kind of go off the rails, and whatever it might be, like let's just say like a new job. First time I had Elijah, first time I had Roy. We were doing a church build there for a little while. All those kinds of like stressors when you like turn up the heat a little bit. That's where like it's easy to kind of slip into the habits. Even right now, like I'm not working out with my workout partner like I had been 2-3 times a week. Right now, like I haven't seen him even in like probably a month or something like that. Right. So now I'm having to try to find other ways to kind of get that movement in there, and then come the fall when we're hopefully get back kind of into the routine of life a little bit more, getting that motivation to get back over there and stuff like that. So I find like going through those and navigating those seasons, that would be kind of the obstacles and like some of the barriers. So
for me, I get so bored at the gym. I can't go on my own for some reason. I don't know how people do it.
Yep.
I was reading a book, Atomic Habits, and there was this guy. He lost like 250 pounds, but all he did was he showed up and tied his shoes.
Yeah, right.
And then he went home.
Yeah, so good.
Do you think that's a true story?
I do. Yeah, I do. That's that 2% thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every day he would just get a little bit better. Then he would start on the treadmill, then the bike.
Yep.
Do a little bit of
amazing.
Do a little bit of weights, and then he eventually lost 250 pounds and something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact weight, but
it
was an incredible amount of weight, and all he did was build a habit by showing up. And I feel like right now I have this gym membership that I just do not use, and there's so many people out there that just do not use their gym memberships.
Right.
And gyms are counting on that for sure, but
absolutely.
But how do I get to wanting to use that? And I think it's just showing up. Maybe I should just start tying my shoes there.
Right.
I'm sure I could do something that I like.
Yeah.
Just to make a routine.
That's good.
So maybe I'm going to give that a shot. But yeah, that is the biggest barrier. Also like eating well. I just want to eat all the snacks. Like when I'm hungry, how many times am I going to go for an orange or for a carrot stick? Never. I'm going to go for those like Nutri-Grain bars, high sugar. My kids' snacks.
There we go. Those little Paw Patrol gummies.
Oh,
they're the best. Yeah.
You have some?
Yeah, we'll do.
Never
we'll
had
talk
any of those.
after.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's good. I know when I had like overnights with my job, one of the things I did when I got to the hotel room, because you like get out of your like normal clothes or whatever, is I would put on my gym clothes with my gym shoes and everything. Because I know like what I would do is I would get sucked into like looking at Instagram and all like the instant gratification. And then I had to kind of like kind of give myself a reward. So what I did is I'm like, okay, I'll go to the gym and I'll just like do some curls and I'll just sit there on my phone. And then I'll go, run on the treadmill, do the rowing machine for 5 minutes. Then I'll get back on my phone. It's not bad. It almost makes me seem like I'm a phone addict or something like that. But it was like, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do that, rather than just sitting in my room, scrolling endlessly, I'm going to go to the gym and kind of
scroll there, but
then I can also work out. And then you get down there and you end up kind of just working out more and, kind of get the shift. But it took a while. And I think that 2% thing, that Atomic Habits, that's true. Like we laugh about this all the time, but I tried to join that 5 a.m. club for a while. Yeah. Torture, I tell you. I'm not a morning guy. I'm an evening guy for sure. But I just like to do hard things every once in a while to do it. But I would wake up at 5 and I would go over, make a coffee, drink it, and then I go back to bed. And then at some point the coffee would kick in. I wake up maybe slightly earlier. But that was like how it started. I actually was successful at it for 2 weeks, maybe 3. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, no. Anyways, let's go on to the next.
I'm moving right along.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so my like one big obstacle for me is I wrote a blog about this and I did talk about this before was I'll start Monday. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah,
I'll start Monday.
Of course.
And did I talk about this already?
You did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But lay it on us.
Yeah, like I find that I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm gonna hit the gym like next day's off. I have 4 days off and then I work 4 days on.
Totally.
So you know what? Let's just go all out.
Yeah.
And I go all out and I have like an extra 5,000 or 6,000 calories.
Right.
And you do that like 6 times a month. I mean, there's only 4 Mondays, but you do that a bunch of times a month. You're an extra pound. Yeah,
that's right.
You gain an extra pound, and that's been a real big obstacle for me too. It's like why can't I just start today? Yeah. So
there's got to be some psychology around that. That's like the New Year's resolution thing, where like everyone packs into the gyms on January 1st because it's satisfying to start something on a Monday or on the 1st or the beginning of this or that or the next thing, So yeah, it's true.
It's weird.
Yeah.
We're weird people.
Humans are weird.
All right. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah. Bring it home.
Okay. So what are you doing this week to get a little healthier?
Okay. So
first of all, one big point of this podcast is about like accountability with each other and what we see online. That's what inspired this whole thing.
Yeah.
So maybe we can touch on how we're doing with that. Right. So for me, I'll say,
hit it.
Yesterday I had to text Tyler because I was watching a movie and it had a pretty graphic scene in it.
Right. Yeah.
Is graphic the right word?
Yeah.
Like it was
vivid.
Yeah, it was not a scene, and then I kept going back on it, and I kept rewinding, and I shouldn't have done that, and that was a struggle. I did get off of that, and then I text Tyler, and it was good. I feel like I am at my strongest point right now.
Yeah, nice.
But it comes with challenges, and it came with struggle. So that was something that I kind of slipped up a little bit, but it has been a good couple weeks.
Amazing. Love to hear that, man. That's so good. And one thing I loved about when Anthony shot me that text, he was really careful to not tell me what movie it was.
Yeah. It's a movie that we've all seen, and I've seen it before, and I don't. And before I've been at a point where I'm like, oh, whatever, it's just like a movie. But that goes to a point where I want to touch on this. We have to guard our hearts in what we watch.
That's right.
Even if it's just an innocent movie. Before I would have thought that this movie was just it was just a good movie.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really bad. And it was really triggering for me.
Right. Yeah.
So we have to always guard our hearts.
Yeah. Well, you guarded my heart too, because I'm a curious person, right? Oh. So I know if you had said the name, I'd be like, oh, I'm curious what that scene was, or whatever that is. So yeah, I appreciated that. That was awesome. I did well this week. We did a family trip. Yeah. And so I was around the wife, the family, the whole time, and there was terrible cell reception. So literally, it was so hard to do anything. So that was also quite freeing. Life, hey? Yeah, it was incredible. So that's actually what I'm working on this week. Is I'm monitoring my screen time, and so I get a weekly report at the end of every week, and it says, "Hey, you used your phone 20 minutes this week. You used your phone 20 minutes less a day than you did the week before," and then it tells you how many hours you use every single day and your daily average. So I screenshotted it. I think it was 2 hours and 29 minutes on average I spent on my phone.
I think that's really low.
I don't have like a baseline, so that's now my baseline. So my goal this week is to get down below 2 hours on my phone, and then the next level is going to be the other stuff. So I spend like no time on TV really.
Oh, okay.
My iPad though, I could see like I'll just like instead of looking at Instagram on my phone, I'll look at it on my iPad. And, wow, look at my stats like plummeted, but it's just that seesaw effect. So, but yeah, I like to do the 2% thing. So I'm just gonna get the report on Sunday, screenshot it, compare it to what it was this last week, and I want to see it kind of trending down. So that's my goal for this week. So
I find when I do a social media fast, I just go to other things.
Right.
Like I will.
Amen.
I have never used LinkedIn so much in my life.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm barely on LinkedIn, but I'm just connecting with people and shooting people messages.
Yeah.
Just to get a fix for my phone. I'm going through my
or Pinterest.
gallery. Or
do you count Pinterest as social media?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
That should not.
I feel like it's on the fringe.
I use
like you see all the apps plotted. There's like a big circle around Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
And then I feel like on the side of that,
it's a safe one.
Yeah, that would be Pinterest. And then LinkedIn is in like the other bubble.
Yeah.
With like your email inbox and like your messaging app and all the others.
Yeah. Mine is realtor.com or .ca. I just like I go on there for some reason. I just love to look at houses.
Keeping your finger on the pulse. That's what I tell people. That's good.
Yeah. Social media fasts, they never work. Mm-hmm. But
I did a coffee fast once. I got to jump in.
Yeah.
The funniest thing, I would be drinking a decaf coffee. Doesn't count. It's not caffeinated coffee. And I'd be drinking a tea one after the next. So I'm getting my caffeine. I'm getting my coffee flavor.
That's called a loophole.
I have a problem.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Yeah. What are you working on?
What am I working on this week?
Yourself?
So I finished my book, but I have an Audible account, so I only get one book a month. But I have there's this wonderful thing in Airdrie. It's called a library.
Wow.
And I've never even been inside this library. That's not true. I have like once or twice.
Nice.
But I could get books there and I could read.
Yeah.
I'm trying to also stay off my phone. I have this week, I have been putting my phone down. Me and my wife were committing to that. And
Love it.
Has been just a freeing thing for us. But now, what do I do with my downtime? And now my baby's in daycare, so I have all day off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
It's so good.
So maybe I could read a book.
Yeah.
So I'm going to maybe try to do that. But I also,
Good for you.
I want to track my calories. I'm going to start tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow's Tuesday. I should just start next Monday.
Okay.
Just kidding.
That's right. I'll say this. The thing about tracking calories I've learned very quickly is that like it's a pain in the butt when you have like the smorgasbord of like food, you know. So like if you're eating just random food, whatever like people offer you and stuff like that all day long, like to add those all into there is like super hard. But if you eat like the same thing every day, you just add the same meal from yesterday, same, it's super easy. So so it almost is like I don't want to eat this like chicken cordon bleu you just offered me.
Right.
So I have to go figure out how to add that into my app, which would be like super annoying. So
totally.
Yeah. So it'll help.
Okay.
So
I'm going to track my calories.
You're getting a library card? Do you have a library card?
My wife has one. I'll just get her to get me a book.
Nice.
And then I'm going to track my calories, and I'm going to try to get to 190 grams of protein. I'm going to do that one.
That's good.
Now that I
was 197 today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah, we're the top.
Yeah. And I'm going to try to hit the gym. I don't know if that's going to be a great goal.
I think it's a great goal.
I think, is that too much? That's too much. I think. You know what? I'm just going to just do my best.
Okay.
But definitely tracking my calories.
Good.
And hitting that 190.
Nice.
And I'd like to read a book.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll see about
Love
that.
it.
And then, is that it? Is that how we finish?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and engage with us through our call to action. So if something today inspired you on the show or something that you really enjoyed, something that you want us to talk about, just leave it, comment for us, leave a like, subscribe. How many views do we have on our last podcast?
7.
Love it. We're going places. Yeah. Hey, look at this upgrade. We
upgraded again.
So good.
So we got these mics last week, and now we have a sound wall.
That's right. 2%, 4%, 6%. We're getting there.
How are we going to improve next week?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
More double-sided tape.
More double-sided.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you like this, just share with someone. And
we're on Instagram. We're on the TikTok. We're on YouTube.
Read the blogs. I put a lot of time into this.
Yeah, do that.
So
Love it. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.